Alright, I might as well rip off the band-aid and just talk about the Rick to Life modern day crash out. When you got Rick to Life out there crossing hammers in front of a Trump flag in the year 2025, all the while he's threatening all the people he came up in the hardcore scene with, you know that some real wacky drama is going down. And I'm gonna be digging these knuckle dusters into that drama, but before I do, hey, hi, hello, my name is Dan Frampton. Welcome to the clubhouse. Park your American-made in the garage and likes and subs. Let's go. So yeah, it's correct. I am firing up my camera right now to talk about drama going down with dudes that are 50 years old plus. Okay? I'm gonna give you the main characters and the main players here off the top if you're not aware, and then we're gonna dive into this modern day drama, okay? But to be honest, it's so hard to go through. These people all talk in code and they only have one remaining brain cell left, so I'm gonna do my best. The star of today's video is a guy named Rick to Life. Government name Rick Healy. He was once the singer of the band 25 to Life, and in the 90s, New York hardcore, these guys were just running in those circles. Marauder, Madball, Scarhead, New York hardcore. He would end up going a little bit loopy, on and off meds here and there, and in today's day and age, Rick to Life is a little bit unstable to say the least. The second character in today's story is a guy who goes by the name of Danny Diablo, aka Ezak, of the band Scarhead, and many other things to be honest. This guy's very much a legend, and in 2025, he is the guy that Rick to Life is focusing this harassment campaign upon. We'll end up talking about a guy named Chubby Fresh. He's the drummer in One Life crew, and another guy named Joe Hardcore who runs the This Is Hardcore Festival, the This Is Hardcore podcast, and is the singer for Shattered Realm. Rick to Life fell out of the good favor of this scene a long time ago, and now he is seen as nothing more than just a train wreck and a meme. And at the beginning of March, this image started to circulate of Rick to Life crossing these hammers in front of a Trump 2024 flag. Just look at the deranged look in this guy's eyes over here. But Jesus Christ, how did we get here? This didn't just happen out of nowhere. So for the modern day crash out, we gotta go back to the very beginning of February, where Rick to Life sends 3 incoherent, rambling, death threat laden voicemails to Danny Diablo. And at this point, Danny Diablo was seeing this just all out of the blue. There was no lead up to this. He just woke up one day to 3 crazy ass voicemails from this guy. Just imagine, you wake up, you pick up your phone, 3 missed calls, you listen to them, and this is the guy screaming death threats at you. If you're unfamiliar with the guy, you might be a little bit intimidated or scared, but if you are familiar with the guy, the first thing you're gonna think is, oh god, this guy is off the meds again. And there are interviews out there. Rick to Life is open about his struggles with mental health, his on-again, off-again relationship with medication, and the wild and crazy zany behaviors that happen therein. So February 20th rolls around and Scarhead, the band that Danny Diablo is in, is playing in Cleveland. And the way Danny Diablo tells this story is that Rick to Life showed up to that Cleveland show dressed like a Nazi shredder. Yes, Shredder from the show Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Danny Diablo claims that Rick to Life confronted Danny at the merch table with a knife and a hammer. I don't know why the hammer is such a weapon of choice for this guy right now. And this is apparently when Danny Diablo and security kicked the living out of Rick to Life for this stunt. What do you mean, buddy? You're gonna leave 3 voicemails, threaten me, threaten my band, show up to my show with weapons and confront me at my merch table? I don't think so, bud. But this is where it gets a little bit conspiratorial because everybody's just talking back and forth. Yes, this was the incident, but what is actually going on here? Is Rick to Life acting on his own, or is he being manipulated by Chubby Fresh of the band One Life crew. My god, this is so silly. These guys are older than 50 years old, but the beef runs deep, so much so that it feels like a butcher shop out here. And now all the while that Rick to Life is acting like this, and this Chubby Fresh conspiracy is happening, Rick to Life is just commenting on everything on Facebook, commenting everything on Instagram. I'm not gonna go through all the comments, they're indecipherable. There are rumors and claims that this guy's hanging out with high-ranking WPs. I can neither confirm nor deny any of that kind of stuff. So Rick to Life is commenting, he's commenting, he's commenting, he's sending DMs to Joe Hardcore, he's sending DMs to Danny Diablo. This guy's just out there tippity-tap typing. And speaking of typing, if you comment here within the first 3 hours, I will reply, and that's just a Frampton guarantee. And it really just does seem like Rick to Life is out there being a keyboard warrior. Not in the sense of my audience, the warriors, the 1%ers, but more like angry 13-year-olds in any anime fandom on Twitter. But instead of being some furry freak online, it's this guy here. But all these texts, all these messages, all these comments are starting to make Danny Diablo's brain do the thinking thing, okay? All the cogs and wheels are starting to turn, and it's not really making a lot of sense. Danny Diablo is able to read these sentences, and he knows Rick to Life as a brainless moron who can't string words together for the life of him. So now Danny Diablo is thinking, you know what? Somebody is running this account for Rick to Life, and the culprit of choice, the person that they're all pointing these fingers at, is Chubby Fresh of the band One Life Crew. Chubby Fresh is being accused of puppeteering Rick to Life in this current harassment campaign online and in real life, actually. Speaking of Chubby Fresh, this is what he looks like. He was interviewed on Joe Hardcore's podcast like, I don't know, 18 weeks ago. And now Joe Hardcore is making these kind of memes about Rick to Life. So I know this is all very confusing. Chubby Fresh and Rick to Life are on the same side, but also Chubby Fresh and Joe Hardcore seem to be on the same side, but Joe Hardcore and Rick to Life are definitely not on the same side. And I don't want to go through all the DMs and all the stuff that's been coming out, but here's just a little sample on the Joe Hardcore page. Joe captions it, "Stinky ass Rick taking a break from talking to taking his shit," and he shares his DMs going back and forth with Rick to Life, and this audio recording is Rick to Life sending Joe Hardcore an audio sample of him using the bathroom. Very mature stuff, very awesome hardcore drama happening on the internet. I love to see it. Colin Young of the bands Twitching Tongues and God's Hate, and of the podcast Hard Lore, weighed in on the matter. Roll it.
Hey everybody, Colin from Hard Lore here. If you take a look at our most recent Instagram post, you will find none other than Rick Healy, aka Rick to Life, the infamous vocalist of 25 to Life, going off in the comments. And you know, I might be the last person alive still championing for Rick's body of work musically.
25 to Life, keep it real. My first pick. 25 to Life.
I know that I'm like the spin kick 25 to Life guy on the show. So I text him and I'm like, Rick, I thought we were cool, man. Like, what happened? And he just sends me back this picture. And you can't argue with that. So frankly, I'm honored to join the elite ranks of Madball and 100 Demons, aka Sadball and 100 Scumbags, in Rick's words, as one of his enemies. And it just goes to show that, you know, anybody can get it. And nobody is safe, and he's coming.
Nobody is safe, and he's coming. And I gotta appreciate the way that Colin is going about this. He's kind of just like memeing along with it. But Rick to Life is severely ill in the head, and I'm really hoping that somebody can guide him back to the correct pill bottle, the correct one. If you want to hear Samo and Rob talk about this situation, he has a little video clip up about it. If you want to hear it from Danny Diablo himself, there is an entire interview up about it as well. But my God, it took me literally 2 days to try to decode all of the little pieces of all of this drama going on right now. On Rick's Facebook, he's going absolutely banana pants. Like, it's crazy that this guy's just out here using Facebook, looking like this, the way that I used MySpace back in 2002. And one of the reasons I held off on making this video until today is because it really does seem like more and more stuff keeps happening, and I don't want to make video after video after video on this drama. But you know what? We're like 2 months into this drama, so I'm gonna have to make a little bit of a statement on it. Like, this is the Hardcore Drama YouTube channel, and it is 100% my obligation to talk about this situation. But with all that being said, I'm still waiting for more stuff to happen in this, because it really doesn't seem like Rick to Life, Chubby Fresh, Joe Hardcore, and Danny Diablo are losing any amount of energy. This classic New York City hardcore drama went from feeling like kind of dangerous, kind of like gang warfare, right? Something that you talked about in hushed tones, because these are just white dudes that throw around the N-word like crazy, and you don't really want to be seen talking about it out in public, right? To feeling like silly clown work. And with that 1%ers, that's where the Rick to Life drama is right now. Until my next upload, keep sitting on twos. Goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.